This is the Jaguar I-Pace, also known as the 2019 World Green Car of the Year, the World Design Car of the Year, and the overall World Car of the Year for 2019. So yes, it's won a lot of awards, and today we're going to investigate why that is. So to start with the design, which is apparently the best in the world. Now that is subjective, of course. Personally, I really like it and think it's really different to anything else out there on the market at the moment, electric or not. Now I know we usually start with the boot, but because there's no big old engine under the hood, we've actually got some storage in the front too, or the frunk as they call it. Now fair enough, you probably won't fit much in here bar your charging cables, but still it's a great way to show off in the car park that you're driving an I-Pace. And why wouldn't you? It's gorgeous. The actual boot is much bigger and a lot more useful. At just over 500 litres, it's much larger than the Tesla Model 3 and indeed most electric cars that are available right now, although it's not quite as big as the new Audi e-tron. It's quite a practical shape. It's got a good wide opening, you've got a nice flat load lip, the tailgate is electric, naturally enough, and you've got a few handy bits and bobs in here like shopping bag hooks, a 12-volt charger, and then these back seats will fold nice and flat if you need them to, although you do need to come around here to do that. In the back, again, space is very good, but really it's the luxury and attention to detail that stands out back here because it really is beautifully finished. Headroom is decent despite this beautiful glass roof. Legroom is really good, that's my driving position. You've got a couple of USB ports for charging your devices and some handy storage areas to help keep it nice and tidy. You've also got a pull down centre armrest complete with cup holders and some storage, and this is a much better use of the space in the middle because it is going to be a bit of a squeeze to get three bodies back here, unless of course one is very small. But aside from that, it really is one of the more practical electric options for a family. There's plenty of space and storage up front too, and here is where you really start to understand or maybe come to terms with the sizable starting price, which can be anywhere between 80 and 100,000 euro depending on which trim level you go for, and that's after government grants. It is very pretty though, and there's been no sacrifices made to the quality of materials used in order to cut costs or save weight like many EVs have to do. Instead, this is proper Jaguar luxury, which has been blended very nicely with cutting-edge technology, not just in the drivetrain, but in the many impressive high-tech features throughout the cabin. There are three trim levels to choose from in the S, the SE, which is this model I'm driving today, and then the HSE, which is a very unglamorous name for a very luxurious trim level, but they all come very well appointed. This dual touchscreen setup is standard throughout the range, as is sat-nav and a reversing camera. Then the SE will add those larger 20-inch wheels, premium LED headlights, and these electrically adjustable leather memory seats, as well as some extra driving aids like adaptive cruise control and blind spot monitoring. The HSE then adds nicer wheels, matrix LEDs, and even more electric adjustment in the seats. This dual touchscreen setup works very well despite there being quite a lot to it, and then this secondary HVAC screen is also nice and straightforward to use. Even these aircon dials are actually little screens themselves, so it's a screen within a screen. Inception screen. Very cool. It has a 90 kilowatt hour battery, which makes it capable of up to 470 kilometers on a single charge, and it is the best electric car I've ever driven. The power is ridiculous at 400 PS and almost 700 Newton meters of torque, and that's instant torque. So when you put your foot down, it feels similar to what I can only imagine it feels like being launched into space in a rocket ship. It is mental. Oh my God! So basically it is fantastically, frighteningly quick and eerily silent. But not only that, it's also great to drive in general. Now it is quite a heavy car, but because there's no shortage of power to pull it around, it actually gives it a really great planted feel. And even though it is supposedly a semi-SUV type thing, it is so sure-footed going into corners, and it also really inspires confidence in doing so because of that great feeling of balance and control. Now most of the battery pack is spread out under the floor, which can sometimes make for a kind of a harsh ride quality, especially when you're on 20-inch wheels like this, but it is surprisingly soft and gentle over bumps in the road, and it never gets anywhere close to crashy in here. As for the range, well, anything over 400 kilometers at this point makes it a bit of a non-issue, especially in a country like Ireland, where that will take you almost anywhere you need to go on a single charge. So once you've got a home charger or even access to charging at work, like I said, it's a non-issue. It also seems to be quite energy efficient too. At the moment it's using about 22 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, which makes that 400 kilometers plus more than possible in these conditions. So that is the Jag I-Pace. Is it as good as they say it is? Yes, it probably is. Now, unfortunately, the price tag does put it out of reach to all but the lucky few, and it does face very stiff competition this year from Tesla and the new Audi e-tron. But which of those would you most like to see outside your door if money was no object? Do let us know what you think in the comments section below. Do like and share if you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to hit subscribe to stay up to date with reviews of all those competitors mentioned coming very soon.